Okay, folks, hello and welcome to the final game between Vega Squadron and Rebels. If Vega can win this one, they're through. If Rebels win this one, well, I don't know what the status of Adfinem and VP are, but they're depending on how that one goes, they'll be
So,
tiebreakers.
Adfin versus VP hasn't even started yet. VP is still playing Spirit because that series just like went so long. Their first game lasted like 80 minutes or something. So currently VP won first game against Spirit, which means they're currently at 2-3. If VP were to win the second game as well, they'd be 3-3, going up against Adfin or 4-2 in their last match. And that means one of those two teams will definitely get to 5 wins, and Rebels are out no matter what. So what Rebels need is for VP to lose the game against Spirit that's currently on. Otherwise, this game doesn't mean anything. And even if VP do lose against Spirit, it's still possible that Adfinem or VP could get to. Well, it's possible that Adfinem could get to 5 wins. So the Rebels want to win this game. They want Spirit to beat Virtus Pro, and then they want Virtus Pro to 2-0 Adfinem, so there'd be a 3-way tie, I think, where they'd all have 4 wins and 4 losses.
Well, Vega Squadron open it up with the Lone Druid, and Rebels immediately picking up that prized Beast Monster along with the Slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Rebels don't know any of that stuff about the results of the other matches. So, as far as they're concerned, they need to win this game. That's what they need to do. Slaughter plus Beastmaster, pretty solid opening. Who was it to list? Put it that way.
And I wouldn't be surprised either. For Vega, a lot depends on the next series to come as well. But for Vega, there's a little bit less pressure. I think I'm not even sure they can get pulled into tiebreakers at this point. I have to double check. I guess if Adfinem finagles something, I guess there's still ways they can be in trouble, but there's no way they can be knocked out.
Yes. I think my feeling is that they might get pushed into tiebreakers. Virtus Pro could eventually get to 5-3, and then Adfinem would be, yeah. Alternatively, if Adfinem were to beat Virtus Pro, then that wouldn't be an issue. So a Lone Druid specialist, put it that way.
And I wouldn't be surprised either. For Vega, a lot depends on the next series to come as well. But for Vega, there's a little bit less pressure. I think I'm not even sure they can get pulled into tiebreakers at this point. I have to double check. I guess if Adfinem finagles something, I guess there's still ways they can be in trouble, but there's no way they can be knocked out.
Yes. I think my feeling is that they might get pushed into tiebreakers. Virtus Pro could eventually get to 5-3, and then Adfinem would be, yeah. Alternatively, if Adfinem were to beat Virtus Pro, then that wouldn't be an issue. So, but it is possible, yeah. If Vega were to lose this and then lose their final series, sorry, this is their final series. If they were to lose this series 2-0, then it's possible that they could have to play tiebreakers. They're definitely going to be at least in tiebreakers at this point, and high chance that they find anyway. But obviously, as you said, like they want to win the game because then they're guaranteed, I think, top slot, or no, maybe Adfin. You know what would be funny if Vega end 2.
Yeah, that's what I just realized. Right? There's actually, because that game's still going and we're one series behind, there's actually a lot of shenanigans that can still happen.
If Vega and Adfinem both finish 6-2, and like they're clearly the top 2, but it's not clear who's ahead of who, I guess they have a tiebreaker just for seedings. Like, that's kind of awkward, but they probably would.
Do we do tiebreakers for seedings, or is it time-based? Do we have knowledge on that already? Because the Chinese games went to tiebreakers, I believe, right?
They had, they played more games. That's what they did. Yeah. But it wasn't just for seedings. It was for like, there was a tie for 2 people for second place. So it might be different. You know, maybe if these are the clear top 2 and it's just about who plays who in the next round, maybe they feel like it's not worth it to have an extra match. But I think that does actually matter. I mean, to be honest, No Diggity and Empire both can be difficult opponents. Doesn't matter who gets who, in my opinion. But you know, it's again, coming back to this game, both teams still clearly want to win the game. Vega want to guarantee, like, cement their chance of having first in the group, and Rebels want to increase their chance of staying alive at all in the tournaments.
Well, Vega get to feel very comfortable. They're going to get that Night Stalker up for Solo. Or Mag, arguably, they might rotate, but I'm pretty sure this is Solo's hero. Something Vega have been really successful with, the Night Stalker. And for Rebels, Earth Spirit comes out.
Yeah, Vega have been very successful recently with the Night Stalker, but they did lose the game against Adphenum earlier where they had the Night Stalker. Not that it was like his fault or something. It was just a peculiar game, series of events. I do feel like it. I mean, honestly, I feel like the games that we've seen Vega lose this evening, the difficulty has often had a lot to do with the fact that Mag wants to play on his own. And on that basis, I think Sim has made a really good decision to pick him Lone Druid in this game, because Lone Druid is sort of meant to do that. Lone Druid's meant to play as a carry, and I think Mag has been playing a bit as if he's the carry, doing his own thing, farming his own items, and the team has play around him. And when he's on Tide, when he's on Darkseer, that's not how he's meant to play, whereas on Lone Druid, when you're offlane Lone Druid, you're kind of the carry, you're more important than the safe lane of the mid as the game progresses, and the team will play around him, so that would be my diagnosis, why they actually go back to the Lone Druid here, and I think it'll work out, because for me, a big part of what went wrong in both the games we've seen them lose really is about the window where those pickoffs happen on Mag, and he's caught off, and he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, not with his team.
Yeah, that's another thing that, right, this might feel like it all comes down to Vega Squadron, despite doing so well in replay, just showing some little cracks in their communication. It has looked like a lot of solo pickoffs are able to be had against their team, and so I wonder if that's something, just, the stress of how many games there have been over a short period. They had to play 3 series today. Maybe just having a...
I mean, it could just be like, it could just be like, I mean, I'm not trying to flame or something, this is criticism, not flaming, but Mag could just be having a bad day, it's like, because honestly, I feel like it's not a coincidence that all of the things have to do with one particular player. So it could be he's not feeling focused as he normally is, or he's wanting, he just impulsively, he feels like playing a more farming role, and they've absolutely given it to him here. Like, the FN's going to be playing the lifestealer in the safe lane. The other 4 heroes are going to be fighting. Mag's going to be the one who is meant to be off on his own farming. They'll play around his timings. And I think it's actually a very clever adjustment for Vega to be making, given the negative results they have had recently, how they've happened in the last 2 matches, the games that they've dropped.
Yeah, well, lifestealer going to be that last pickup for Vega Squadron. All around, nice strong draft. Going to be... a lot of heroes on this team, very difficult to kill off. Obviously, Lifestealer. Oh. Okay then. Well, Broodmother's coming out, and right now, do Vega have a good way to deal with this?
No, not really. I mean, and it's interesting because Vega themselves are like kings of brooding. There would be some kind of poetic justice if they lost to a Broodmother, like surprised by the pick, because Vega have won many a game of Dota 2, based on picking the Broodmother toward the end of a draft. So we'll have to see. There's more than one way to deal with the Broodmother. One of them is to have a hero that just sits and lanes against it, like an Axe or Timbersaw or something like that. They don't have a hero like that wants to just solo against the Broodmother. But the other way to deal with Broodmother is to kill it lots, and I think that Vega do have the tools to do that. So probably the approach to dealing with the Brood in this game is going to be stack up those dusts, those sentries, and try to take advantage of the fact that they've got really, to hold it into place. They've got the Oracle that could do that. They've got the Lifesteal that can slow it immensely, the Night Stalker as well. And you see that immediately. Solo's starting the game with Dust on his hero. Sema's got sentries as well. They're going to want to make kills on this Broodmother. You don't start with Dust if you're not going to try and make kills on the hero right from the beginning of the game.
Well, hopefully they can make it happen, because we've seen Broodmother get out of control. Some of these games just make a crap ton of space. Has many legs right now. This is a creepy skin. Moving right along.
What it does to the draft as well of Rebels with that Brood pick is they now have a mid Slardar and a safe lane Beastmaster. So it's a very unusual composition. I mean, we talked earlier about how some teams do run the safe lane Beastmaster. MVP Phoenix comes to mind, MP playing it quite a few times there, but it's not just the safe lane Beastmaster, it's also a mid Slardar, which is pretty unusual. I mean, he's got the poor man shield, but I still feel like no one's gonna get the better of this lane in the mid lane.
Wow, Sedoy also began with a Blightstone Definitely not what I was expecting to see on the safe lane Beastmaster. We got a couple of different things going on. And mid lane Slaughter, I have to imagine they're gonna... They need support here for him. He can't solo this.
I suppose they could send the Earth Spirits. I mean, that's what Earth Spirit does. He likes to help out lanes, and there's kill potential there. Slaughter's pretty tanky. I mean, the same thing that makes it capable of being in the off lane makes it sort of capable of having that kind of Dragon Knight mid-roll, where you're gonna get a bit out farm, but you get what you get your levels, you get some farm. So I think it is conceivable, especially with the Earth Spirit roaming, that Slaughter... I don't think the Witch Doctor is gonna go there, actually. I think he will spend most of his time up top. But I do also think that no one as good as he is as a mid player will punish it as much as he can. And I mean, we're gonna have to see how it works out. But if it turns out that the bot lane is making kills on Brood and the pack is dominating the Slaughter, I mean, Lone Druid is not a hero that gets shut down at all. So we could have a situation with Vega getting value out of all three lanes, and that would be pretty troubling for Rebels. Obviously, there's a lot of ifs there, especially in terms of the Brood. Are they gonna find those kills? One of the more important skills of a Brood player is knowing that the enemy team is trying to get those kills on you with the detection early on and being able to avoid it. I mean, he's got 3 sentries of his own, so he can fight the sentry game, but that's not going to help against the dusts.
Yeah, this is... I guess I'm expecting for Rebels, you know, looking at their lineup, you're saying, hey, okay, I think that you can try to have your Brood lane go well, but unfortunately it's like they've expended a lot of resources on Vega on making sure that the Brood does not have an easy lane. And then the other lanes look pretty dang good for Vega. The only one I would maybe be a bit worried about is this Lone Druid. I'm gonna try to stop the bear from its shenanigans. I think he's got a lot of escapes though, right?
The only way you shut down a Lone Druid is by killing his Spirit Bear and like killing it twice so you can't summon it again. Like if his Spirit Bear's up, his progression's always gonna be like here or there. He's gonna get a decently timed Midas, a decently timed Radiance. The hero is super consistent in that way.
Well, Vonsko will begin up top, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him roam elsewhere. And Broodmother is currently just not having the easiest of times. We can see that she has placed her own sentry, so she might be able to find their sentry, but it's really far on the right. I wouldn't be surprised if Shocklow just has trouble getting out into this lane.
I love the whole sentry metagame. No, Brood can just run through things, so she should be able to find it if she looks long enough.
Will she get far enough right, though?
Yeah, that's why they put it there. They hid it in a place where like it's less likely that she'll go. I mean, it's not like that's the optimal place to put a sentry in terms of getting vision of the Brood. It's working out for now.
Meanwhile, Slaughter, Brood actually lost her sentry. Slaughter is actually getting some last hits. Obviously, I'm expecting as the puck gains levels, there to be more easy spam, but we'll have to see how Tame My Wild can actually do in this lane. Yeah, puck just playing around. Has to be a little bit careful. Slithering Crush is at the ready. Well, I mean, we got both. He just gets the bash. There's the roll in. They're gonna miss. And the puck. There are creeps here. He will get bashed. That's our first blood. In bottom. You were saying?
So that's very good. It's less important, but Solo has now killed 2 sentry wards for the price of 1. And you see what he's done. He starts with a Quelling Blade. He's literally just spamming it, eating all the trees, and Brood is not gonna be able to hide under the cover of trees.
He's actually a lumberjack, but a surprising turnaround on the mid lane. Just a puck being a little over ambitious.
Yeah, I mean it involves the Earth Spirit as well, obviously. The Slaughter on his own is not going to make that happen, but when that rotation comes in, you do have to be a little bit more careful.
So in the top lane, which we haven't checked in, Lone Druid, it looks like he's Mag's forced pretty far back. Going to jungle the hard camp to try and get by. What's the game plans here? Because obviously for Vega, they have a lifestealer getting free farm. Do you just try to keep ensuring that and then maybe wait till you've got the Radiance before doing something?
Yeah, the Radiance timing's pretty big. Honestly, I feel like Rebels have a pretty obscure draft. They've thrown together a few things. That's why they have these unusual lanes, just to fit the Brood in. So I almost feel like Vega's plan is just to not get brooded. And if they don't get brooded, they're looking pretty good. And at the moment, they are not getting brooded. The Brood Mother has barely gotten to level 2. She's struggling to really apply any pressure.
Yeah, Vega status not brooded. So I think, as you said, they wait for the Radiance on the bear and then try to...
Yeah, they're gonna go for kills as well during the night time. they're gonna go for kills when Lifestealer can infest and puck and go for those bombs. So there's a lot of play for Vega to make to transition towards that Radiance. The big concern was if they were gonna have constant pressure to deal with the Brood, but Brood having such a slow start will definitely help them out in that regard.
Yeah. Well, in middle on the puck, obviously took a tumble, but starting to get back up on that CS. Expecting no one here to... Might want the Blink just because there's so much control on the Earth Spirit, the Blink first instead of the Veil that we sometimes see folks go. There's going to be a roll in, does not quite hit no one. There's the silence and the orb out. Should secure the puck safety.
Yeah, so, aware, not going to make the same mistake again. Puck is, and actually Dust is used at the spot lane. They're trying to catch the Brood, but...
They've chopped down a lot of trees.
Yeah, and she's doing her part not to die at least, with what they're committing, but... I'm not. It's difficult for me to tell, but I don't think it's enough for the Brood to just not die here. The Brood needs to, at some point, start getting value. I mean, now there's a wave on the tower, so gonna get that important level 3, getting closer to the soaring. And that's mostly what she needs. Once she has level 3 in soaring, she can start actually causing trouble.
Yeah, I feel like, oh, okay, we have a casual second Dust Throne. They've already used almost 400 gold on the Brood in this bottom lane. You can argue that that's some amount of worth, but as you said, I'm just not sure where the line is drawn. If the Broodmother can't become a menace.
Yeah, the Brood needs to find an opportunity to really apply pressure to force them to stay around there. The Brood's job is meant to be to make sure that they can't make all these rotations early on. While Nightstalker with this early Night is causing a little havoc toward that mid lane. Don't think anyone's gonna go down here. I mean, possibly actually there's another Void coming out. Vanscore could be in trouble.
Yeah, we have engagements all over the map. They're going full Vonscore, but they won't have the auto attacks at this stage in the game, and there's the bash onto no one. But Tame by Wild, oh, the paralyzing cost comes through. There are only 2 heroes. Solo taking a lot of damage, but this is also only a level 1 Maledict. It might not be enough, and now the Courier in danger of the puck. The sprint comes out from Slaughter. Not fast enough to catch on up, and he will be just fine. No one going down in any of the engagements happening across the map.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising. I thought the Earth Spirit would die. They missed, I think the orb didn't hit him, so slightly less damage. And the Void ended up being used on the Slaughter. So I definitely think better coordination from Vega there would have made that one kill. It's not a huge deal either way though.
Bottom tower is under attack.
No. Back looking over to the mid lane. Pretty even. Slaughter ahead a little bit. Not words I thought I'd say against a mid puck. He's also picked up the raindrops. I really like this. Part of my concern was that Puck has very unpunishable ways of kind of dealing damage to the Slaughter, and of course raindrops going to help with that some.
Yeah, raindrops definitely useful. Making sure you don't die, get harassed slightly less. In the meantime, Broodmother is starting to get those levels, does have the soaring, so might still hit a timing where it can be kind of annoying. Lifestealer is doing excellently though, that's for sure. The Brood's presence has not been relevant in shutting down or pressuring the Lifestealer. And they've sent out another dart. Vega Squadron have, but they still want to make attempts on killing the Brood. That's ultimately the one thing they didn't manage to achieve in the lane. They shut the Brood out a lot, but they have not killed her yet.
And that just adds more to the amount of gold that they've used on her. There they go, opening with the wounds, and the dust misses again!
Yeah, they needed to have the dust on one of the faster heroes, the Lifestealer or the Nightstalker. The Oracle's the one hero that wouldn't be able to catch up there.
I mean, that's almost 500 gold spent in that lane to catch a Brood who has not been caught.
Yep. I mean, look, it's the gold's not doing nothing. It is keeping the Brood back. She's played very conservatively. She can't get a lot of farm. The gold's still achieving that. But on the other side of the map, Rebels take the first tier 1, and this is something that a safe lane Beastmaster can do. You can just push with your aura, your boars, and even that early Blightstone is going to help obviously for the push.
Yeah, he already has Necronomicon flying out. Level 1 of course, but you know, sub 8 minute level 1 Necronomicon on this Beastmaster, he can probably get level 3 before the 20-minute mark, and here they come. They're trying to give it a go onto Mag. The roll is not going to be on the mark, but they are working on the Spirit Bear. Primal Roll comes out, but suddenly 3 TPs. Rebels have to be careful here. There's going to be the Fortune's End onto Metrum. He'll TP out. Sedoy in a lot of trouble here. This would be a big kill for them. He is slowed. There's the Dream Coil, and Sedoy goes down.
Yeah, but In their defense, they killed the Spirit Bear, which is almost as good as a hero kill, considering the fact that Mag does not have a resummon up for another minute. So, it's hard to say if that's even a win for Vega. Yes, you kill the Beastmaster, but the Spirit Bear is a really big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good for Vega getting that farmed core, putting some damage onto him. If you're Rebels, do you... Well, looks like they're answering my question. I was gonna say, do you try to rotate down bottom? Get that tower, help the Broodmother out, and it looks like the answer is yes. Slaughter already coming on over. There's going to be a TP down by the Beastmaster as well, but Solo should die here easily. And this tower, they're going to make quick work of it with both the Broodmother and a Beastmaster coming over with the Inner Beast.
Radiant's bottom tower is
So,
under attack.
the early game is looking pretty good for Rebels, and I asked if they're going to get brooded, and it didn't look like early on Brood was causing the issues, but Brood is getting to the point where it will start causing issues on its own. And in the meantime, the Slaughter and the Beastmaster are too. So Rebels with the unorthodox draft, but they're getting underneath Vega's skin.
Oh, Primal Roar onto FN. No time for him to use that rage. Finally, he gets it off, but the auto attacks will be enough. And another good kill in the bank for Rebels. They're starting to pull ahead, almost 2,000 gold when that graph settles down.
Yep. Still, look, the more standard draft is Vega's, and the more standard timings are there, and there's a reason that those timings are standard because of the kind of power that they have. But you gotta get to them. You know, you have to get to your Lone Druid Midas, you have to get to your Lone Druid Radiance, you have to get to your Puck Dagger, your Nightstalker Ags eventually, much later on. And Rebels seem to be just like, we're gonna play this game very quickly. Like, kill your towers, take rush early on, kill you in your jungle. If they can just keep this momentum up, it's gonna be a very difficult game for Vega. There's gonna be some points at which Vega needs to be able to disrupt the momentum somewhat. Even if it's with a pick-off or a successful fight or just pushing a tower himself, they gotta get something done.
Slaughter continuing to apply pressure on bottom lane. Broodmother is just doing the jungle. Now this is a very different... A lot of teams like to leave their Broodmother alone, right? And obviously this Broodmother, Shockley, had a little bit more trouble in lane. They expended a lot of resources on him. Do you think that they should still leave Shockley alone to push? Or is it just, as we've seen, Rebels group up time? Should they push his 4 elsewhere?
Yeah, they will. They'll do that. They'll push his 4 elsewhere. The Brood's probably gonna be alone. Like, at that point, the Slaughter is farming bot just because it's, you know, farm efficiency. Brood can farm the jungle, Slaughter can get the lane, you can farm more places at once, but Brood's got that Midas now. It probably will set up camp at that bot lane, and I do think that the other 4 heroes are probably just going to be going on a 4 hero train, pushing around. And they're close to having an Necro 3 on Beastmaster, by the way, which is an insanely early timing. I mean, he was farming the safe lane, but doing spectacularly well, and I worry a little bit for Vega Squadron, that these timings are going to be a bit too early for them, and they're not going to be anywhere near the Radiance.
Well, saving grace, it is a Beastmaster. He...
tower is under attack.
I guess he can actually work on AC and stuff after the Necro. He'll probably go Blink next. We'll have to see how scary that makes Rebels. But I do think that the Lifestealer is someone who can do a good job out carrying. And here it is, the smoke up. Puck ready to infest. There's going to be the jaunt over. They want to really blow up Tame My Wild's face. Puck with the Dream Coil. There's the infest bomb coming on out. But the Primal Roar immediately onto FN. Magnetize flying out among all of the heroes. Managing to catch all 5 with that. Now Death Ward going down. There'll be the false promise keeping FN alive. We'll see if he can manage to make it. But Seema the Slayer will fall. FN taking quite a bit of damage. He'll fall too. And this team fight, Vega have been completely routed.
Yeah, and Vega are the ones who started that fight, recognizing they need to make some kind of play to try and turn the corner in this game. And this is a game where if they do turn the corner at any point, they do like stabilize, they're probably looking much stronger, like lineup wise. But you try and make the play which helps you stabilize, and instead it destabilizes even further, and that's gotta hurt.
Also, that was a 5v4.
Dire's middle tower
Rebels did not have their Broodmother with them, and they were still able to be pretty successful, although Broodmother, she is dusted right now, so maybe I spoke too soon. Another Void should be coming out, as long as they can see her. It is nighttime. She's gonna turn around, pop that ult, poke away at them, and that'll be enough to scare them off. The dust is worn out, and they cannot catch her.
Level 6 Nightstalker can't solo kill Brood. I'm not sure why Solo thought that there was a kill in there. I just think there never was.
Broodmother continuing to apply pressure in this bottom lane while we have maybe the Great Escape being played by FN. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, so Not looking great for Vega. I mean, now the Necro 3s are up, they weren't even up yet. And I think they're gonna keep losing objective after objective. Lone Druid can do nothing at the moment. Really has no ways to influence the game.
It's a rough one for Vega. Obviously, it comes down to what we saw in earlier games. If they can stem the bleeding some, there will be a turning point. If they can get that Radiance up on the bear. Oh, what is this jumping around puck? A little bit of trouble, but will be able to jump away. Such a mobile hero. Although, has to be careful because Slaughter over halfway to that blink.
Vega actually finding an opening here, maybe to split push in that top lane in the tier 1. Interesting to see if Rebels manage to punish them, because trading tier 1s is probably very good for Vega right now, but yeah, Tamewild TP's in says, no, you cannot get a tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
Oh, Dream Coil dropped onto Sadoy. Here comes all of the backup. Sadoy in a lot of trouble. The Death Ward dropped to try and help with the zoning. Sadoy still not dead. Gets the Primal Roar off. Finally, FN brings him down. Uses the Infest to get out cleanly. But Sadoy took ages to fall, even though he was below half health at the start of that fight.
He's the most farmed in the game, so trading him for the support Nightstalker who's the least farmed in the game is definitely a win for Vega. But it's a sign of the position Vega are in that they struggled so much to actually make that kill. And they could only do it because the Slaughter TP'd out. If the Slaughter was still there, it would have been a suicide mission.
Tower is under attack.
Something else I do want to mention is, despite how a lot of this not going super well for Vega, they do have an incredibly farmed Lifestealer. The Aegis has just been reclaimed. And Beast and the Lone Druid, considering he was off lane, has good timings on the amount of gold he has.
Yeah, he's getting there, and the Radiance will definitely be a step in the right direction in terms of turning that corner that I was referring to. But right now, in these clashes that happen before he gets the Radiance, it's very scary for Vega.
They just need to hold out a bit longer and they'll have the Radiance. Of course, that isn't the end-all be-all, but it should help their draft out some. Looking around for Rebels, they've got tier 2s in mid and bottom that they can take advantage of. Probably going to be a mid push since Darklow is now pretty permanently established himself as the Broodmother down there.
Yeah, and farmed his way all the way back up to the top of the net worth, like right there in the pack of board at the top. So early push start for Brood, not really mattering at this point in the game. I'm quite interested to see what kind of build he goes. Like a awkward pick-off build, a staff kind of S&Y fighting build. Or could even see it. There was a time where Broods used to like rushing Necros, and I think if you got into a second Necro 3, that might be overwhelming.
Oh, Puck just farming some fighters there. Paralyzing Task will...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Will follow. I think...
Meantime, Mag is getting caught out on the other side of the map.
Oh no, this is gonna put him back on that Radiance. He will go down.
Dire's middle tower is under
Although on mid, they've got an Infest Bomb going out onto Tame My Wild. He does have the Slithering Crush, needs to wait until the Rage is done and is unable to. Boulder Smash coming in way too late. Vonsko also gonna get caught up at the Fortune's End, but of course does get off the roll first. Lifestealer coming in, has the open wounds onto Sadoy. They're gonna get solo low, but Sadoy blown up here. And this is exactly what Vega needs. They may have lost the Lone Druid, but they managed to get the 2-hero pickoff.
They do also, we must remember, they also lose their bot tower, the tier 2, it's the Broodmother. I mean, it's based on the current trajectory of the game, it's a good change, it's a welcome change for Vega, but it's not that big. You know, the Lone Druid is the important hero, he's the one who died, the Broodmother is making progress and pushing that bot lane, and once she's up in the base, they're gonna always have to have people there, otherwise their axes are under threat. And this is a Brood who's got 4.6k gold, hasn't actually bought anything yet, and once she actually spends her gold, will become a lot scarier.
They do manage to get a solo pick on the Night Stalker up in top. And the other thing, huge Broodmother, just doing huge Broodmother things. She's really made an excellent comeback.
Gonna buy an entire Manta Star, so it's kind of like the S&Y build in terms of fighting, a little bit worse, but much better in terms of pushing. Also helps to take off the silences, can take off the open wounds, which is very important, or the void if they want to try and kill her. So I like this Manta build. Like, if you get left alone, you're gonna really threaten the buildings, but also the right kind of item for fighting at the moment.
And that's a nice thing about Rebels lineup, right? The Broodmother, she can itemize to be a split pusher or more of a fighter, and since she has gone for that fighting build, they're going to be stronger in team fights than maybe Vega was expecting. Lone Druid, though, very close to the Relic. Of course, the initiation all favoring, well, pretty dang good on Rebels right now, although if this wraparound works...
This time Brutes joined the fray, so they have 5 heroes here for Rebels.
Yeah, and they are picking off Solo again, but here we go. Infest Bomb immediately blows up the Witch Doctor. Support for support. Should be favoring Vega since they're behind.
Yeah, and Witch Doctor's quite important to the push. It's the main sustain they have. I think if you commit the Necros now, you can easily get the tower. Feels like Rebels don't feel like that's enough. They want to actually get a fight. You know, Beastmaster holds onto the Necros because he wants to use them in conjunction with the Raw. And now they're going to start to pull back. Fast respawn, Night Stalker's going to be up soon, and not too far away from nighttime. Also, the Night Stalker has his ulti up. Will be the relic for Mag's Lone Druid, so getting there, getting towards that Radiance. And that's the. I mean, as much as for fighting, the Radiance is important timing for Lone Druid because it accelerates the farming so much. Usually, you know, once the Lone Druid gets the Radiance, it starts building its way up through the net worth charts and will be at the top of that net worth by, you know, 10-15 minutes after having the Radiance.
Yeah. They are getting ready for the Roshan fight. It has respawned. Both teams aware that they need to contest this, and Puck again ready in Infest shape. Smoke jumps in, goes on Sidoi. He's already been blown up. He does have buyback. You can see him immediately going out there, but the Death Ward has been stopped, and they are in trouble on Rebels. Solo getting low, but already having lost the Witch Doctor. Solo should go down here. Sidoi coming back in with the Primal Roar. Already the TP out on the Oracle. Will it just be a 1-for-1? Rebel should be able to get the Rosh off of this, but not finding anything else in that team fight. Again, a big loss for them.
Seems like it's always the Witch Doctor and the Night Stalker dying for each team. But they do get the rush based on this, and there's an attempt to get the trade for the tier 1 top lane, but I think that this might cost Mag his life, because here comes Slaughter.
So we'll see. He does have Savage Roar, of course. There's the stun going out, the Magnetize as well. Continuing to be dropped up, but here comes Puck coming in, walking on Vonskul. Vonskul will get blown up by the bear, and now Slaughter in trouble. A lot more support coming in for the Radiant. Tame My Wild, he needs to run, but he doesn't know it yet. Here comes the open wounds, and Tame My Wild will fall.
Alright, so even though they get the rush, it's starting to, there's so many signs of crumbling now, and it's starting to look better and better for Vega. Like, they now hit the Radiance timing on the Lone Druid, make a couple of kills, get a tower, and I don't think they even care that much about the Broodmother Aegis. Like, it's not like they've tried to kill the Broodmother.
Vega's done a really good job, I think, of coming back in this, exposing any weakness they can find in Rebels draft, and obviously it reflects in the net worth graph. Rebels no longer overwhelmingly ahead, and Vega actually up on experience. If they can just continue this, it does feel like with their cores, Vega should be in a solid position.
Yep, it very much is that situation. Like, the draft-wise, turning the corner it's going to be much more difficult for Rebels to turn a corner back, put it that way, if Vega were to amass a lead. So, Rebels now under pressure. Like, they need to start getting their act together. They need to take an important fight. Roundabout now, actually. Maybe try use their Aegis, I don't know, bring the Brood in.
Another really important thing to mention, I think, is that Rebels, they had a 14-minute Necronomicon level 3, maybe 13-minute Necronomicon level 3 on their Beastmaster. He hasn't gotten another item since.
Yep, he's edging toward his Blink Dagger, but it's taken quite a while to get there. He's died a few times since, was looking excellent to start with, and I think he's died 2 or 3 times since he got to the Necro 3.
Puck with a haste, looking for more Infest Bomb targets. I think the only downside here for Vega is, yeah, they're going to be out of smokes for the next 8 minutes. They've been using them very aggressively, found a number of kills with them, but it does mean that they will not be able to use that play for another 8 minutes.
Yep. Vega not really in a rush, I think. they're quite happy to just farm at this point now that they have the Radiance and the Lone Druid. And I think the pressure is on Rebels to get something done. Oh, they find a courier. Got nothing on it, but the courier none the same. Nonetheless. Or all the same.
Close enough.
You don't
Close enough, Scam. We got you. So, Vega, they don't have smokes, but Rebels are coming for them. Those few team fights have all gone Vega's way. We'll see if Rebels can make something happen here. Nighttime is going to be popped. There is a lifestealer inside of Puck. Jumps in again. The blow up. Trying to blow up the Witch Doctor. Metrum runs away. The mech manages to come out. FN is standing over there, but Shocklow just blows up the Oracle. No saving FN this time. The Death Ward not quite in range, but they have blown up the Night Stalker. And we have a pause.
Yeah, well, I was saying there's pressure on Rebels to get a successful fight finally, and it looks like they're starting to get that. The Spirit Bear is probably going to be next.
I'm totally going to interrupt you. Oh, you're right. It's just murdering a Spirit Bear. Not that important. They are unable to stop the TP away from the Lone Druid.
Yeah. But Spirit Bear kill is pretty big. Like, he resummons. Now if it dies again, then that could be pretty devastating. So you gotta be a little bit more careful with that Spirit Bear, and it looks like Slaughter is on his way to maybe exactly that. Oh no, actually just finds the Night Stalker.
He's just gonna have some fun with Solo here. Bashes him up. Solo trying to get that miss chance, but it's not gonna be enough, and he will go down.
Well, Rebels might consider pushing a little bit further. There's still 2 heroes dead. They've still got the Aegis. It doesn't look like they're that comfortable committing to the high ground just yet.
And we've got potentially quite a bit more game in this, as you said. If they don't want to take high ground, I am expecting Vega to do some good work coming back.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Necro is coming up in 15 seconds for Beastmaster, so that'll be pretty scary to have to deal with. And Lifestealer's infested Puck, so this is Vega planning to go in.
Oh, Shocklow taking quite a bit of damage. The Aegis is about to expire in about 30 seconds, so Shocklow, use it or lose it.
Well, Beastmaster, as I said, is Necros already again. I think Rebels have everything, so if they wanted to take a fight they could, but they decide it's unnecessary. It's fine. We'll just pull out. We got enough from that, and I think they did get enough from that.
Waiting for the next Aegis doesn't seem great.
The Aegis is meant to be for Slaughter, but remember when they were rushing Slaughter,
yes.
TP to the top lane, and that disaster occurred. I don't think they would give the Aegis to Brood if the Slaughter was there when Rush died.
Gonna be 10-minute Roshan respawn timer, so it's gonna take quite a while. And if they want to fight with the Aegis, it's gonna be a wait.
Yeah, an entire Skadi for Broodmother, so this hero becomes super scary now. You can't just ignore it. It's gonna get onto one hero and attack them until they die, pretty much.
Yeah, we rarely talk about it, but Broodmother can be quite an effective carry.
Yep, absolutely. And this is... Guardi was the item, actually, that we were talking about the Ration Pub's Brood Spammer yesterday, who helped DK Phobos and Mag to learn the hero. Actually, one of the comments that he made was that Skadi is an item that you should be buying on Brood almost every game, which is an interesting comment considering in the pro scene you hardly ever see Skadi on Brood. But he argued that it's just like fundamental to how the hero works. So.
Oh, we have an infest gank, Witch Doctor. I think Death has your name on it. They're walking uphill. The smoke has been broken. Metrum manages to not be blown up immediately this time, and this is just folks jumping over each other. Seema will get brought down here, but of course just to support. Vega happy to have that somewhat tank the smoke gank. I may have spoken too soon. Solo taking a lot of damage here, has no more mana. Sadoy slowing him with the balls as well. Will he be able to get him? This hero so tanky. Sadoy's got it though.
Mag did get a tower, but I think this is where Rebels actually consider pressuring the high ground a little bit, at least until the Necros run out.
And for them, pressuring a little bit with Inner Beast and the Necronomicon, or that thing will fall fast.
They don't have their Brood there, so maybe Vega could actually jump in here.
Well, Puck laying down some spam. Boulder Smash on through, trying to make... Oh, but there's the Dream Coil. Doesn't matter if the fort was slightly just a second too late. They're gonna kill the bear. Lifestealer coming on out with those wounds, but BKB is popped by Tame My Wild. He's gonna try to run back, forcing people to fight under the death ward. Tame My Wild getting very low. At the same time, paralyzing Cask flying around. It's gonna be the perfect bounces, but Vonsko forced off deeper in. He's in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't matter. They managed to get Seema. Finally, Vonsko will fall. Tame My Wild on the outside of the fight, and no one taking a lot of damage here. Broodmother not going to be able to finish him off, but maybe can do some work on this tower.
Not so fast.
Yeah, Rax should be going down. I don't think they're quite ready to save this Rax, although Vada is super low. So maybe making the call to just get back as a result of that. Beastmaster's got Raw again, nearly got Necros again. This fight drags out, I think Rebels might go back in.
Oh, Slithering Crush off the mark, and immediately Slaughter will be down. He can't get the Primal Roar off before he's used, and now Shaklo also silenced up in the middle of the danger zone. It's gonna be an orb on forwards. We do not have the gem yet up on the Night Stalker though, so Shaklo will be able to skitter away.
Those are very fast reactions by Vega, very important. Slaughter coming back in, Beastmaster coming back in, and both of them not really being able to get any of their spells off, so if Vega was slightly slow in reacting to either of those jumps, like Rebels could just take another fight and take a Rax and maybe even another side of Rax, so getting rewarded for quick reactions. Very good mechanical play there by Vega.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Our Broodmother is a blink too, so can get right on top of you and force you to deal with it. We were saying with the Skadi you can't really get away, and with the blink even more so. Can't get away, and she gets on top of you all that more easily.
Yes, Broodmother's terrifying. I mean, she... a really good job here, I have to say. Props to Shaklo. Obviously, we see a lot of people, if they have a hard time at the beginning of the game as Broodmother, trouble getting back into it. And also just really building what Rebels team needed. Understanding that they can't just split push all day. They had to fight sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely, I think the Brood's done well. But yeah, with the jump back in there by the Beastmaster and Slaughter both going down, I think the game edges a little bit more in Vega's favor again. Like that much more time to get a few more items, and I mean look at the net worth charts. It's like the top 4, it's Brood and then 3 Vega cores, and Brood is a bit like, I don't know what we should say, Alchemist. It's one of those heroes that the net worth doesn't really map out according to our intuitions. Like a Brood that's got 17k net worth is probably worth your average standard carry with like 14k net worth kind of thing. So I would say the 3 strongest cores in the map right now are actually all from Vega. And we did talk about this early on. We said that they could turn a corner, and they may well have done that. Interesting that Mag now buys an armlet on Lone Druid.
They threw out a dust just to check if the Broodmother was on them in top, where they're ready for the Infest bomb, but at the same time the smoke is coming from Rebels. They are gonna see someone— no! No one jumps into their scan! They were just on the outside, so Rebels don't realize they were so close with the smoke.
So, there was a stage where Armlet Spirit Bear was the thing. I think AUI came up with it, but it was bugged at the time. It didn't drain the Spirit Bear's health at all, and that actually got fixed since. But seems like Mag feels like the pickup here anyway.
And it's gonna be Roche number 3.
Pretty interesting, because Armlet includes strength, right? Gives a whole lot of strength, and I don't think the Spirit Bear benefits from that. So
I mean, I'm guessing it's mostly for the attack speed, also that it keeps getting into situations where it's like close to dying. I don't know, maybe it'll help out having the omelet. Not 100% sure. Obviously something that Mac thinks is appropriate here.
Yep.
Let's see if there are other big items we've missed. Of course, the lifesteal are getting huge, as we talked about. Deso, Omelet, and the full AC. Aghanim Scepter on the puck, which is really awesome because, of course, there is a BKB out on Tame My Wild. And they just need to... they need as much control as they can find on Vega.
Yeah, but we're... you know, it's becoming a more difficult game for your safe lane Beastmaster to have the impact he wants to have, for your mid Slaughter to have the impact he wants to have, and even for the off lane Brood. So I still feel like there's quite significant pressure on Rebels to try close out the game in the next 10-15 minutes, because if they don't, The Lone Druid's just going to become too scary. The lifesteal is already pretty much too scary, and Puck obviously also keeps scaling. We'll probably get a Hex or something like that next. And that's what Rebels are going to do. They are pressuring straight at the base. They recognize they probably don't want to stall out the game too long if they can avoid it.
Rebels getting ready for their push. Of course, they've got the Aegis up on Broodmother, who's going to bots in on the backline. Doesn't have an army of spiders to bring in, but Beastmaster's Menagerie should be enough, and the melee racks, that's going to be their goal here. Sentry should get brought down, or not. They're just going to leave it there. It will expire. Nightstalker throwing out that mischance. Oh, Puck ready. It's the Infestborn Puck. They've been doing it over and over again. There's the old forwards. Puck not going to jump into that one. There's only so long they can wait here. And Broodmother, she's frontlining. Trying to make something happen. Oh, and there she goes. Blinks right on in on top of the Puck's face. Having a bit of trouble with the bear. Immediately pops them onto, and there we go. Magnetize coming out from Vonsko. He's given up his life, but on the back line, the Dream Coil onto all of them. Beastmaster already brought down. They've killed off the Oracle. The Puck getting very low, but manages to use that phase shift to avoid the Death Ward. And the bear ripping through the Witch Doctor. It's going to be what gets false promise when the buyback from the Oracle comes out. And 3 dead on Rebels. They cannot fight here, and their rack still stands.
Yeah, Beastmaster did not even get his raw off. The initiation power just better from Vega. They get the jump. Slaughter blinked in blind at the start. Stomp didn't really catch anything, and Beastmaster got taken down before he could raw. So both of the key initiations from Rebels not working out, and that's the difference between a won fight and a lost fight at this stage in the game. But more and more Vega are just becoming the team that's stronger. They have stronger carries. They're outscaling. The heroes are better in terms of carrying, and they have more farm. And it's now their turn to say, you know, we want to take some objectives too. I wonder if they'll stop here or if they push a bit to the high ground even.
I think they can definitely poke away at the high ground, but of course Broodmother has resumed her usual activities in the bottom lane, and there will be the Rage TP. But there they go, they get the bash! Tame My Wild stopping the TP on FN, also giving them vision of him. FN has to be careful here, probably wants to find a creep to get into. He's gonna just try the runaway, but Slithering Crush comes on out. There's the roll forward, BKB showing up from Tame My Wild, and oh no, FN getting very, very low, but he's trying to fight Tame My Wild, and they're all trying to fight him. Death Ward will be dropped. There's the False Promise, Solo on the other side, taking a lot of damage as well. FN should blow up here. He's had everything pounded into him, and they get 2 quick picks on Rebel, and then a third. Oracle going down. That first hit bash by the Slaughter.
They had a ward that showed Slaughter farming at the entrance before. They knew he was really low. So it's, I mean, firstly, you just don't expect when you're Lifestealer, Rage TP out, that Slaughter's gonna blink in and one-hit bash you, but they probably thought the Slaughter was going to base. So you gotta feel a little bit bad for Vega, because couldn't really have seen that one coming, and ends up pretty bad for them, and now this is Rebels at their front door again.
Well, there are no buybacks on Vega, so they're gonna have to hope that their Lone Druid is enough. Already the Radiance coming out to the bottom lane. Bear has to be careful, and actually Broodmother's just gonna ignore it, taking her army to go work on one of the other lanes. They already have Slaughter. That doesn't work. That thing has backdoor protection, but that's fine. He's just practicing.
No one cut the waves, which is quite important. That's the reason they took so long for the creeps to get here. He was farming some creep waves up on the other side of the map in the mid lane.
And that's the glyph, which will buy enough time for most of Vega to be back. Lifestealer respawning in 4 seconds, and suddenly, Rebels, can they even take this? Oh, Slithering Crush going out onto Solo. Immediately the False Promise comes out. This means they won't have it for the rest of the fight. There is Puck in Fest Bomb, immediately blowing up the Earth Spirit, but Primal Roll goes out onto the Lifestealer. He is still smacking people around Shocklaw. That's first life. Death Ward being dropped, hitting onto a lot of them. There is Solo taking quite a bit of damage. Slithering Crush, once he gets on out of it, and Puck will jump away. Solo trying to find someone, might be able to find himself Metrum here, who immediately turns on the Voodoo Restoration, healing up a lot. Witch Doctor, can the bounces save his life? No, he got. Puck comes in. Tame My Wild managing to on the toggle to save his life. Solo still just standing there, taking a lot of damage, and Sidoi now in trouble with the Puck. Now finally Broodmother's gonna start working in on the Puck. There's a buyback. We'll see Sidoi fall there. Gem popping out of him, but the Puck has gone down as well. And Broodmother just fighting the Spirit Bear. She can't take this thing out. She is just smacking it around for fun. Finally Rebels deciding to back on out, but 3 buybacks used for Vega. Well, Oracles is used in a much earlier fight, but 3 of them down.
Yeah, Puck buying back afterwards because they want to go make a play themselves. I don't think Puck bought back for the fight. It was just Vega decided now's a good timing for them to go for a push. They could try force the Beastmaster buyback. He's got the buyback and he's gonna respawn soon. But I think it's quite difficult for his team to fight without him. So it might be the play to jump in and just make it difficult for them to decide. But actually no, Vega decide the window's too small and it's not worth the risk.
I don't think this is gonna stop anytime soon either, Scant. Like, I don't... it's so back and forth. Obviously, Vega is outscaling. They have the better carries, as we mentioned, but Rebel, this Broodmother doing so much work, and so is the Beastmaster buffing up the entire team.
Yeah. The concerning thing for Rebels is that they really aren't making any structural progress. They keep going there and hardly touching their axe. But the positive thing is all of those buybacks. Like, Nightstalker, Puck using buyback, Oracle used buyback earlier on. Of course, their own Earth Spirit did too, but like with a hero like Puck not having buyback, that gives them an actual avenue into closing out this game. You get a pick off on Puck in the next 5 minutes, you can probably go end the game. Because as strong as the lifesteal and lone duo are, they need the Puck. It plays a very important role in their fights, especially in the initiation.
Roll in onto FN. They managed to throw out the silence. There's the magnetized Broodmother coming in, and the primal roar. They might be able to kill the lifestealer here. They bring him down. He does have buyback. Will they catch Lone Druid? No, they won't, but they will take out the Spirit Bear. Although a resummon is available, but now they know if they can kill it in the next 2 minutes, it'll be down.
Yeah, so they're probably going to try force the lifestealer to buy back, and then there'll be a position where Puck, lifestealer, and the Spirit Bear, none of them have buyback, or quote unquote for the Spirit Bear, but you know what I mean. All important kills that if you kill those things, they stay dead.
And here come Rebels, pushing up through that bottom lane. Broodmother making a very small army. And I have to imagine that Lifestealer will be using the buyback in a second here. Puck drops the Dream Coil. Lifestealer probably going to TP in now. There you can see he's coming in aggressively. Sharklock taking quite a bit of damage. He managed to proc the Dream Coil, and FN immediately getting the false promise, just making sure that he does not go down. Earth Spirit is dead. Tame by Wild in a lot of trouble. Puck jumping forwards with the silence onto Metrum. They do not have the Death Ward or anything because they used it to kill off the Lifestealer, and TP away from Metrum will not be enough. 3 dead on the deck for Rebels, and only one of them has a buyback.
Yeah, so again, maybe a window for Vega to move forward and put some pressure. They might just go for the tier 1 and tier 2 in the bot lane instead of going for the base. It might be a good idea to do right now. Push out this bot wave, get the last outer towers. But again, the concerning for Rebels.
Oh, it's a really long Roche spawn, so I think Vega really want to take advantage of this, and there's no Roche to be had.
It's really concerning for Rebels that all of the stuff they gain doesn't lead to like actual destroying of objectives. Like the biggest gain that Rebels have had in the last sort of 15 minutes is buybacks being used, but they haven't yet been able to capitalize on any of those buybacks being used. At the moment, Pack's still got 3 minutes on buyback. Lifestealer's got another 5.5. So the next fights, if Rebels kill any of those important targets, could be huge for them. But there isn't much else that's positive to say for them. You know, the net worth is kind of even, but as we've said all along, Vega's heroes use that gold better. So the game is looking better and better for Vega's Squadron, I would say. There's still this window. There's definitely still this window where if you punish one of these heroes not having buyback, all of a sudden Rebels you could just maybe get mega creeps. But that's kind of the only thing that Vega needs to avoid at this stage. One of their no buyback heroes getting picked off.
As we talked about, those buybacks going to be getting closer and closer. Being on cooldown. Everybody and their mother checking for Roshan. We've got a Vlad's now up on the Earth Spirit, Necronomicon. I mean, I just feel like Sidoi, after having such great farm in the early game, what do you go on this Beastmaster? He's got 3,700 gold saved up. What's the play?
Usually a Refresher Orb is the build. Although, some of these fights he's been struggling to get 1 raw off, never mind 2. But you gotta think that's, you know, that's how you lock down a hero like Lifesteal or Pack. I saw one fight where they rawed the Lifesteal, didn't even kill him in the time of raw. But they're always going to kill him in the time of 2 roars. Will be a rush kill.
Yeah.
This is pretty big because those buybacks are still not quite ready. I think, yeah, Puck's got a minute and a half, Lifesteal's got longer than that, and with the Aegis, with the cheese, I feel like maybe that's enough for them to get into a fight where they can either kill one of those heroes or just win the fight because those heroes have to play defensively to avoid dying.
I think a lot of this team fight comes down to, obviously, can the initiation, whichever team initiates seems to win. When Beastmaster's been able to get the Primal Roar off onto the Lifestealer or the Puck, and the Earth Spirit's been able to jump in, magnetize and silence a bunch of folks, it's been going the way of Rebel. But obviously, all other times Puck, with the Infest Bomb, the Dream Coil dropped, everybody silenced, there's nothing Rebel can do during that.
They have to also deal with Oracle, which is a bit of an issue, right? You can catch the Roar and Oracle can just like take it off immediately. So between the Slaughter and the Beastmaster and the Earth Spirit, one of them has to kind of deal with the Oracle, make sure it can't save whoever they initiate on at the beginning of the fight.
Well, we're gonna have a little bit of a stalemate. Obviously, Vega, unless they're 100% sure they can find a pickup or something, I don't think that they will be able to fight with the Aegis, so they'll wait it out. This time, of course, Broodmother has the cheese. They're just gonna be happily sitting on Slaughter.
Yeah, it's Refresher Orb nearly down on Beastmaster, Ag's nearly down on Witch Doctor. These are the 2 big pickups which could have a dramatic impact on the game at this, even at this late stage for Rebels.
It is so tense in this one. Anybody makes a mistake, as you talked about, the buybacks are now back up, some of them at least. We've got, oh, we had 3, now we only have 2 up on Vega, but still, Lifestealer doesn't have a buyback. There's the Aegis, which is up for another 3 minutes.
Yeah, and they might have to fight in these next 2 minutes before Lifestealer has a buyback, so...
Well, ideally for Rebel, they force it.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you find the jump, as you said. You have to deal with the Oracle. The Puck's a slippery fish. You got also the Lifestealer, who's, I guess, a human thing. What is Lifestealer?
I don't think he's human.
I thought he was just like a tortured human thing. Anyway, let's not look closely.
And how did he get those teeth?
Hey, I mean, yo, so not everybody has like free dental care, you know? It's not universal healthcare, not a thing. It's horrible. He's from America. No, let's get back into this game before I get too silly. Hopefully, oh, Slaughter. Blinking up a little bit off the mark, thinking maybe trying to catch out the Spirit Bear. Obviously, the resummon is now on CD, but doesn't matter. It is important if they kill it, but if they kill it, it can be resummoned and still be in the next fight.
Lifestealer headed towards having that buyback, and the entire situation is going to be reset. I feel like Rebels have maybe squandered an opportunity. They have the Aegis and the cheese, but they wait long enough that all the buybacks are up, then it's going to be super difficult for them to win a fight.
Slaughter jumps in aggressively into their base. Lifestealer is not infested yet. Look at the bear melt! It's gonna go down. There it is, the infest bomb coming out. Vansko in a lot of trouble, is silenced up here, but the Death Ward being channeled on the sidelines. FN in that false promise, but taking a lot of damage there. The Lone Druid Savage Roar will stop the push onto FN, but the Broodmother Illusion's almost taking him down. Puck goes down. Slithering Crush, they just want to kill off FN, and they manage to get it. He still has a few seconds on his buyback, but Puck already back up into the fight. The Rack's still standing. Gem on the deck. Mag trying to pick it up so that they know where the Broodmother's going, but Tame My Wild gonna bash him up while Shocklow just says, I need this Rax. Manages to take it out the glyph again after the Rax falls, and Shocklow pushing forwards with that MKB, ripping right through everybody and all the buildings. There's the buyback coming out of Lifestealer. He can try to do it again. Doesn't have Infest for another 4 seconds, but then he could go in, but it's too late. Rebels have escaped.
Okay, so seems like it was justified for Rebels to wait for Witch Doctor to get axed, because that ulti did so much work. That's most of the reason they managed to kill the Lifestealer and force the buyback out of him. And now they've got another 6-minute window where if they kill the lifestealer, they could just win the game, and they certainly made it look kind of easy there, killing the lifestealer. Their Beastmaster is very close to Refresh Orb. I think he probably will just buy it out. I don't think he saves for the buyback. Beastmaster, that kind of hero where, like, you know, if your team's dead and it's about the Beastmaster buyback or not buyback, it's not actually that decisive. Not like there's much he can do on his own, put it that way, and the impact of a Refresh Orb at this point, that just could be game ending. Like, they go onto the lifestealer, make sure they get 2 roars, and even if the Oracle can take off one, it can't take off the other.
Yeah, it is. It is a rough and rocky road for Vega. Now, albeit it is just one lane of racks down, they've been doing an excellent job of holding against that. They've got the lone druid who just doesn't have to worry too much. Will be able to keep their lanes generally pushed out well. So, and there's the nighttime popped. Lone druid will resummon his bear. So they have to be careful. That's another thing, right? He did lose a bear. In the next 120 seconds, if the lone druid loses it again, he's in trouble.
Yeah. Beastmaster's saving buyback for now. Another thing to take into consideration though is what could happen is Necros roar, TP home, heal, buy refresher there, use it, TP back and continue fighting. That's another potential play depending on how the fight works out.
Here they go. They have to fight here for Vega or they're conceding a Rax. You can see Lone Druid trying to get some damage on the tier 3. Gonna come back in. Earth Spirit did TP out after they got the tower. I'm surprised Rebels don't want to fight.
They just feel like there's no reason for them to tank damage on their own tower, I think. So, deciding rather to push out the waves. It's something else. When we were talking about the items they were waiting for, one thing that they were doing earlier is they just were pushing out that top lane. They really don't want to get split pushed. Like, they've worked so hard to get lanes of racks. If they were to, like, sneakily lose some raxes along the way, they'd probably feel really bad about it.
Rebels actually scout that smoke gank with the new scan ability. So, again, seeing that put to good use. I'm really enjoying seeing how different teams use the scan. And especially, you know, casting the open qualifiers along with the regional qualifiers means that so a lot of teams be very not used to the scan since it was, you know, like a day after the patch dropped.
Yeah, so some teams still getting used to it. It's nice when we see them successfully use it, and Rebels, after pushing out the top lane, have assembled again at this bot lane. And it's still going to be another 3.5 minutes on Lifestealer's buyback, so it's scary for Vega. If he dies, that's pretty it.
This tower taking a lot of damage to the disarm, and she is just Shocklow trying to kill off this Spirit Bear. Huck, on the meantime, has the Infest Bomb on the back lane. Sidori is silenced up and blown up. He will buy back, get back into the team fight, and the Death Ward again doing good work to take out someone. VFN getting very low. He will fall. They don't have buybacks on these heroes. The roll back in from Valenscore. They just need to pick off this Rack. Slithering Crush going out onto no one. There's the Primal Roar from the buyback. And that's 3 on the deck with no buyback. GG's are cold. And the Rebels have done it. They have 2-0 Vega. This group is gonna get hazy.
Well, unfortunately for the Rebels, the bad news, I've just checked, is that Virtus Pro did 2-0 Team Spirit. So what that means is that there isn't any way that the Rebels can get out of the group anyway, unfortunately. Because Adfinum versus Virtus Pro, Adfinum were 4-2, Virtus Pro were 3-3. It means either Adfinum will get to 5. The only way they don't get to 5 is if Virtus Pro win both and then they get to 5. One of those teams is getting to 5, Vega's already at 5. Rebels, even though they're 2-0 Vega Squadron, they end on 4-4 and they can't get out of the group. Which is a really sad story considering how hard they worked to win this match.
Well, either way, a great showing from Rebels. Maybe showing some other organizers that they don't deserve to be in open qualifiers. Maybe get invited directly to qualifiers. Either way, folks, that's going to be it for our coverage. This was the last, well, I think obviously the other European game is going on, but this is the last European game going for the Stream 1. We will see you guys around next time. Once again, I'm Llama Down Under. I've been joined by Scancel. We can be found by those names on Twitter, and any and all feedback on how to make the casting better for you. I'll leave the score up and host whoever else is casting right now. So, peace out, folks. Hope you had a good time.